Did you think at the start of the week you were going to land 2 top 6 wingers? I mean, was that the goal, or was that just gonna happen?
Yeah, I mean, I hoped, like, I was definitely tracking a few different things on the trade market, a few different paths we could follow, and certainly Kyrou was one of them. So as that kind of played out and it looked like it was getting closer to coming our way, I started feeling good about it. And then, the Tuck thing was certainly definitely a plan for it, but you don't think you're going to get both of them. So it was nice to have that come our way.
How much does that change, like, what your team looks like out of those 2 guys in the wings, potentially in your top 2 lines?
Yeah, I mean, it's like we've said a lot in this room. We've been trying to add top 6 level talent on the wings, and so to do that, I think just helps. It gives a more skilled mix to our top 6. It gives Carbs more options on how to craft the lineup, and I think we're going to be a pretty balanced team, top to bottom, and I think it allows Carbs to have kind of 4 good lines that can all score goals.
You pursued a couple of top 6 guys last year. Did you maybe learn something from those pursuits and maybe realize you had to just be really aggressive, maybe even like we thought, jump to the front of the line to get things done?
Yeah, I think we were aggressive in the guys we missed on. Sometimes it just works out that way. And that was kind of my concern going into this summer is you have all these pieces now. You made some hard decisions to trade guys to get assets to hopefully use in deals, and you can make a really good offer to St. Louis for Kyrou, and he might say, I don't want to come to Washington, and then you just have to live with it. So, so sometimes it goes your way, and sometimes it doesn't, and I'm going to enjoy the fact that we got a couple to go our way here this year, and keep going forward.
You guys are really strong down the right at this point. It sounds like Spencer's been doing some brainstorming, but what are your thoughts on switching some of those to the left?
Yeah, I mean, I think most of our right shot wings are versatile, so I think Carbs will have options.
When you're making these moves, are they made with Ovi in mind, or you would have made them regardless of whether he's here or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think, from my conversations with Alex before he left, I think I had an understanding of, if he does come back, kind of what's he looking at, contract-wise. So that kind of gave me some clarity as far as what I could do spending-wise.
But also, like, just for your team. Like, you're obviously, these guys are, whether Alex plays next year or 2 years, how many years, but they're going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
Like, you're transitioning to, they can be part of life after as well.
For sure, yeah.
Have you kept in touch with Alex at all over the offseason? Does it help too that going into free agency you guys have a good amount of cap space, so if he does choose to return, there is room for him?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think this has been a nice combination this summer of us having tradable assets and a lot of cap space, and so it has given us flexibility to kind of pursue some off-season moves while Ovi, mulls over his decision.
Do you have a sense of which way things are going to break here? Carb said on the radio in Toronto today that Alex is really excited about the moves that have been made.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I know Alex, as you guys all know, is a really competitive person, and he wants to win. And so, I think, he definitely wanted to see kind of what we did here in this offseason to help inform his decisions. So I think this will help give him some more information to make a decision on.
Do you think when you're making these moves about, okay, maybe this will appeal to him?
No, I'm making the moves for what I think our team needs, what our hockey ops group thinks our team needs, and how to make us the best team possible, either with Alex or without Alex in the lineup. And these moves are, like you said, Tom, they're like more, these are moves for the next several years in the future as well, where I think we've got a really good core group of players over the next several years that we have a chance to be a contending team for a while here. So we want to make sure we add guys to help complement that group.
Do you have a time? Free agency obviously starts on Wednesday. Do you have a time frame as far as when you think you might talk to Alex next about this, and when you might make a decision?
In my mind, I do. I'm not going to say it because then everybody's going to have a dedeline that they want to ask me on. So, yeah.
Could this stretch on through the summer? Or?
No, I don't think so. I think we'll have conversation in the near future and get a good sense of where he's at.
Can we talk about a couple guys that are on the way out? Connor Michael and Hendrix LaPierre. Both were RFAs with arbitration rights. With Connor, did that play into the decision to part with him? The uncertainty of what his captain was doing?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Connor and Hendricks, I mean, we're great for our organization, and I always, have an especially soft spot for both those guys because of my involvement with Hershey when they were coming up, and when we won the Calder Cup in 2023, like Game 7 in Coachella, like we were down and out going into the third period, and I think both of them scored in the third to get us back in the game. We had win in overtime, so really hard to see them go, but they're going to both get great opportunities. They're a new organization. But no, I mean, Connor was more like he's a good young piece. If you're trying to go get a guy, he's a good young piece to try to do it with. Like I said, there's some of our prospects that we want to be very careful about putting into a deal, and so I think Connor allowed us to have a really good piece that is attractive to a team to go get, a top forward in the league.
Yeah.
Do you guys still have some irons in the fire trade-wise, or are you looking to add free agency, or are you guys done?
Yeah, I think trade-wise is probably pretty quiet right now for us. I think we'll go back now and kind of continue our work on our list for people we might want to target in free agency and get to work on July 1.
Are you penciling Ilya, I mean, this is probably determined, but Ilya is on your team, or do you need another center now, or where are you looking, what's your view at center?
Yeah, I think based on his body of work there at the end of the season, I am going to pencil him in my head. I think he showed that he can definitely play at this level, at a high level. So I think, for me at least to start, that's how I'm gonna assume he's part of our center ice group.
So can you share with us what's on your shopping list when July 1 rolls around? Are you looking for a right-handed D? Can you give us like a little?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna be looking in both the forward and the D market. Yeah.
Going back to some of your pending free agents, Brandon Newman and Jordan Van Riemsdyk, do you expect them to explore the market, or are you still in conversations that they could come back?
I've had some conversations with their agents, and I'm gonna probably just leave that between us for now. Yeah.
How important was it to get Spencer Carberry signed long-term, keep him with him another year if they're being honest?
I like Carbs is not a guy that's gonna hold a contract year over my head or anything like that. So, I just it felt like the timing was right to do it and just have it done, so we don't have to worry about it throughout the season. But it wasn't like any kind of big push or critical thing to get it done this summer. I think he's really happy here. We're obviously really happy with him. So I think we both sides knew we're going to get a new deal done no matter when it is. Yeah.
You guys mentioned that was a multi-year deal, but what's exactly going on with the length on that? It sounds like it might have started early. What's the contract till?
I'm also going to hold that one too, so there's not deadlines out there that people are tracking for when his next deal needs to be done. Sorry, guys.
What can you tell us about the progress for Rasmussen in recovery? Maybe a timeline for when he might be back during the season?
I don't have a timeline. We'll probably know more when he gets back in September. I know the surgery went really well. The initial few weeks after surgery were all really good. But it's 6 to 9 months. There's a lot of variability in that time frame, and everybody's a little bit different. So, we'll just see where he's at, and hopefully.
Is your shopping for D impacted by that, I guess?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I mean, and we traded Declan too, right?
Right,
So,
yeah.
I think we're going to be in the market for defensemen.
Are you comfortable with the amount of cap space you have now to go get what you need, but also re-sign Alex, if that's what it comes to?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we have lists of names on the board, and they're going to be, I'm assuming, at various price levels, so we can just kind of see what fits what we have space for.
So
If
do
that
you
makes
kinda-
sense.
Yeah, it does, but do you kind of have an idea of what Alex is going to cost, so you know what you can spend elsewhere, I imagine? So
I have a decent idea.
Is he
Yeah,
aware of that idea?
yeah, he's aware of it. Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Can you just pass along a note to him about, like, we're going to be on vacation?
I know, I know.
We don't. No one wants to be on a beach with us.
Let's just announce it right now, shall we? Yeah.
Nice.
That's great.
Going back to the trade you made earlier this week, it seems like both players are committed to being here for the long haul, excited to be here. Does that send a positive message to the group that it's kind of shifting to a win-now mode, and that this team is not just a legitimate contender, but has people who are buying in and want to be here for the long haul?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it speaks to a lot of things. One, it speaks to our group, our players, that guys from the outside that have 100% control on where they go see our group and say, I want to be part of that group, because I think they're a good group to be around, and they got a chance to win and contend and try to win the Stanley Cup. I think it speaks a lot for our city and our fans and our arena. You know, players do notice when they come into a building and it's vibrant and loud and people dressed in red, like, they see that. And so I think when you have guys that are looking at coming to DC and they say, oh yeah, I mean, I love playing in that building, it's loud, it's great atmosphere, I mean, that's a huge thing too. And, you know, the investment by ownership in the building, they see the new visitors locker room, they're like, okay, there's like things are improving here from a facilities standpoint. So like all those factors come into play for these guys, and I think it's huge for putting us in a good position to get guys like that.
You mentioned trading Declan. Was that at his interest, or like what
Yeah, I would say probably mutual interest. I mean, we tried to do something there with our 6th and 7th D position, and it just didn't really work. You know, I think he was definitely interested in getting an opportunity to play more in a different organization, and so we tried to find something that worked for him.
What do you make of the last week around the NHL? Just massive trades.
Yeah.
It's like every day, or like every hour, like my phone's dinging.
I know, it was fun. Yeah. And you know, last week we saw the number 9 overall pick move twice and the number 4 overall pick move. I mean, that never happens, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think it shows you that, you know, with this rising cap and a lot of teams keeping their top stars and a kind of a thin market on free agents, like teams are going to have to get aggressive to address their needs through trades, and they're going to have to use better and better assets to do it.
Does it feel like players are maybe starting to take some control over their destiny here, the way like the NBA does? I mean, guys are demanding, with no trades, are demanding trades.
Yeah, I mean, well, for sure, it feels like this past week there's been a lot of that. I don't know if it's a trend or it just happens to be, you know, a circumstance or whatever, but you know, when players have trade protection, it gives them a lot of leverage in the situation. So that's why they negotiate really hard for it in contracts. Yeah.
With the influx of right wings that you bought, and you mentioned some guys could play on the left side, on the offside, but does it also give young guys maybe like Miro and Crystal chances to make the jump here if they have a strong camp? Yeah,
I mean, I think Miro for sure. You know, I want to see him have a really good camp and try to push for you know, a regular spot in the lineup. But you know, having these guys around, it makes everybody have to push to be better and to compete for their spot, not just the younger guys, but everybody, right? Like, Carbs has options now. If their line's not going, then they're not going to get as much ice time as another line. So I think, and that's what the guys want, right? They want the group to be accountable, and they want the group to have to play to its best level at all the time. So I think we've hopefully put ourselves in a position to do that.
You made a change on the coaching staff. What does Ray Bennett bring to the group?
Yeah, I mean, a hockey lifer. He's been doing this a long time. Came really well regarded from a couple other from recommendations from a couple teams he's been at. Obviously, has run the power play at a few places. So I think, it's a different voice, a different set of eyes on the power play, and I think personality-wise, from what I learned, you know, he'll be a really good fit personality-wise with our group of coaches.
Going back to the forward group, and this might be more of a Carps question, but do you have Justin sort of definitely locked in as a center, or is he somebody who could potentially play sometime in the ring?
I personally would prefer him as center. I like his game as center more than the wing, and that's where I have him kind of positioned on my board. Yeah.
Were you guys involved in any kind of bigger moves that didn't end up coming out these past couple days, or did you get what you wanted?
Yeah, I called on a lot of different names, and yeah, I mean, as everybody did in the league. I mean, it's I kind of said earlier, you know, you get the assets, you try to get in on deals, but you know, 98% of the stuff you try to get in on just doesn't go your way. So yeah, we explored a lot of different names and a lot of other names that are out there, and you know, we made an active decision to pursue the track that we pursued, and really happy that it worked out for us.
Was last year, in retrospect, because you mentioned you were trying to do this, was last year frustrating, or how would you view it? Like,
it was frustrating. It was frustrating because, you know, we didn't have the cap space situation that we have now, so we basically kind of, you know, we went after a player and we just kind of had to wait because we didn't have space to do anything else. And And so then when you miss, it's tough because you sat there and you're watching names come off the board. And so this year we were in a completely different situation. We could go after multiple different things because we had the cap space. And if this thing happens, then we'll be out on this one, but now we can pursue this one. And so that's kind of how we've had that approach.